What's going on, everybody out in YouTube land, and welcome back to another episode of GBA. In this episode, we are going to be unboxing the October version of Video Games Monthly. So for any of you who don't know, this is a monthly subscription service that delivers games to your house every single month. They basically have an online database where you can put games that you already have so you don't receive duplicates. On that same database thing online, you can also put what systems you want games for. So they only send you games for systems that you're interested in or that you already own. So it's a good service overall. I quite enjoy it every single month. They're a tier system, so you can get 3 games a month, 4 games a month, 5 games a month, or 10 games a month. I personally get the 10 game box. With shipping, this is about $90 or $92 every single month. So it's not too bad at all. I quite like the stuff that they typically send me. A lot of times you don't get the value out of the games that the box actually costs. But for me personally, I like the surprise factor of getting games every single month, not knowing what I'm going to get. I just like that feel of getting a present every single month. But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and open up the Video Games Monthly box and see what I got. They always ship it in one of these priority mailer bags. But once you cut the bag open and you pull the box out, this is what you're going to see. So yeah, that's Floyd on the cover right there, Video Game Monthly's mascot. And I mean, I like the aesthetics of the box. I mean, it's pretty basic, but it gets the job done. So let's go ahead and open it. And I'm going to kind of open this away from me so I can keep the surprise going for a bit longer. Also, I forgot to mention, the systems that I receive games for is the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, and the Game Boy, the original Game Boy. So those are the systems I have checked off to get games for. So first up, let's see if we can... Oh, we got our trinket first. So this month, the trinket is a beer koozie. Or, you know, I guess you could use it for sodas, any 12-ounce cans or whatnot. But yeah, so that's cool. Every month they send a little extra gift for you. So this month we have a beer koozie. Alright, so next up we'll get our cards. Well, this is different. It's like an advertisement for the Switch collector. Switch Mania Playcast and Nintendo Switch Podcast. I guess this is basically like from a YouTube service or something, or Twitch. But yeah, it kind of looks like a advertisement. So that's a little bit different. That's the first time we've gotten that. The next card we get is basically like a business card. And this basically says that if you share the games that you got on Facebook, that you can possibly win 3 free games. Not guaranteed, but I guess they do a drawing every single month. So next up, well, yep, we've got a 1-up. So, I mean, you can never go wrong with a 1-up. Basically what that is I get an extra game in this box. So instead of 10, I should have 11 games in here. And the last card is basically their thank you card. Plus, this is the card reminding you to update your library. If you don't update the library with the games they sent you, there is a possibility they could send those games again. Because they do not automatically update your library for you. Alright, so now that that stuff's out of the way, let's start getting to some of the games. I'm going to try to show you guys first. The first game is a Super Nintendo game. Okay, so I'm going to show you first. Alright, we have Lethal Weapon on the Super Nintendo. So, by no means not a great game, but I don't have it, so I'm happy to get it. I'm loosely going for a complete Super Nintendo set with the expectation that I will never get there, but I'll keep going as long as I can. I actually want to get this for the NES. It's a little bit more of an expensive game on the NES, but yeah, so we've got Lethal Weapon on Super Nintendo. Like I said, don't have it, so I'm happy to have it. Alright, next up, we have a Nintendo 64 game. All right, going to show you first. All right, we've got Forsaken 64, another game that I do not have. I honestly haven't never played this game. I want to say this is a first-person shooter game. Please comment below if I'm wrong on that, because I could be, because like I said, I haven't played it. But, so this is one of the Nintendo 64 games I don't have, so I'm happy to get it. I think this makes about 143 Nintendo 64 games I have or so. But yeah, so happy to have Forsaken 64. I'm going to try to get some of the bigger games out of the way and then do the Game Boy last. Alright, so next up we have a Super Nintendo game. Okay, we've got Eye of the Beholder. It's Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Yep, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Eye of the Beholder for Super Nintendo. I'll be honest, these aren't really my favorite kind of games. I've never really gotten into this style of game, but it is made by Capcom and I don't have it, so definitely glad to get it. And I don't even think I've came across this game in the wild, so yeah, Eye of the Beholder. I've got a bunch of these games that I got to pick up on the NES still. Alright, so next up, it feels like we have a loose disc game for GameCube. I'm going to show you guys first. I haven't seen it yet. So this is what we've got. Oh, Ice Age 2 The Meltdown. Yeah, I'm not going to play this. I'll just be honest with you. Yeah, I know nothing about this game and I probably won't play it. I'll put it in to see it and make sure it works. The disc looks like it's in good shape. I currently have about 150 GameCube games, so I don't have this one, so I am glad to get it. Ice Age 2, The Meltdown. Alright, moving right along, I think we've got a GameCube game in the case. It feels like a generic case. I'll show you guys first. Okay, we have Medal of Honor European Assault. So yeah, this is definitely in a generic case, but it does have the artwork, so that's always a positive. I don't really like keeping loose disc games in my collection. A lot of time if they send me a loose disc game, I'll either print off the artwork or I'll go online and buy a case with artwork. But yeah, don't have this, so I'm happy to get it. Once again, probably not the best game in the world. A lot of these war-based games kind of get old once the new ones are released. But Medal of Honor European Assault. Alright, so now I think we're down to Game Boy games, which we've got quite a few. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there should be 6 Game Boy games in here, which I'm getting close to 100. I'm getting close to 100 of the original Game Boy games, so it will be nice to cross over that threshold. So I'm going to show you guys first. Alright, so we've got Raging Fighter for the Game Boy. So I'm guessing this is something like a kickboxing fighting game or something. Or it could be some sort of action game, I'm not really sure. I haven't played it, but very happy to get it, and I'm going to pop it in the Game Boy Advance SP when I get done with this and check it out. So yeah, once again, Raging Fighter. So happy to get that. I'm pretty much happy to get any game that I don't have, if you haven't noticed that yet. But yeah, so next up on the Game Boy, this game looks dirty. Or just stained, I guess is a good word for it. So, show you first. We've got the Incredible Crash Test Dummies. So, I have the Crash Test Dummies game for the NES. I don't have it for the Super Nintendo or the Game Boy, but I guess I do have it for the Game Boy now. So, yeah, I used to love the Crash Test Dummies when I was a kid, so I do have some nostalgia for this. But yeah, Crash Test Dummies on the Game Boy. That was one of the more recent NES games that I've picked up. Alright, so next up, we have... Oh, True Lies. This is a game that was based on an early 90s movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. The movie was a pretty typical action movie from the early 90s. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I was probably 8 or 9 when I watched it, so I quite enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know what kind of style this game is. I haven't never played it. We got True Lies for the Game Boy. So it's an LJN title, so you know it's got to be quality, right? Alright, so next up, we have Bart Simpson's Escape from Camp Deadly. So I was actually looking at this game recently to purchase. I like a lot of the Simpsons games. I mean, most of the ones that I've played are not so good, but I do enjoy The Simpsons a lot. I haven't really watched the show in quite a few years, but when I was a kid, I used to love The Simpsons. So yeah, Bart Simpson's Escape from Camp Deadly is a great title to get, and I'm really, really excited to see what the gameplay is on this one. Alright, I think we're down to the last 2 games, guys. So I guess all good things have to come to an end, right? So next up for the Game Boy, we have Super Battle Tank. I think I have this on Super Nintendo, and I have like Gary Kitchen's Battle Tank or something like that on NES. But I do not have the Game Boy version, so I'm happy to get the Battle Tank game. Super Battle Tank on the Game Boy. Alright, so what did we save for last here, guys? Let's see what we've got. So, I'll show you first like usual. Alright, so last up we have Tecmo Bowl on the Game Boy. So, Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl are some of my favorite games on the NES and the Super Nintendo. So, I'm really happy to get this. I'm not really much of a Madden football player or any like of those realistic sports games, but I love an arcadey sports game or like an older sports game. So yeah, this is cool to get. Tecmo Bowl on the Game Boy. I've got this game on NES and Super Nintendo, but I'm happy to add it to the Game Boy collection. So yeah, guys, once again, that is my 11 games, and as you can see, the box is empty except for the bubble wrap in there. So yeah, what are my thoughts overall for this month? I mean, nothing in there that's like calling out to me saying, play me, I'm going to be your favorite game or anything like that. But I did get a lot of titles that I did not have, and I'm very happy about that. And like I said, just the surprise of getting games that I don't know. I probably wouldn't have bought most of these on my own, so it is kind of neat to try these out because some of these might be hidden gems. You never know, right? But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to end the video here, but I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to GBA. I appreciate every single viewer I get, and you know, if it doesn't hurt, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. It really, really helps the videos out and the channel. So yeah, guys, until next time, I hope you have a good day and a good night. See you later.